Hello, beautiful people. How are you beautiful people doing on this Saturday, beautiful people? I was just standing outside and I was encouraging the people. I have my shirt on and of course with my voice. As you can see, I have my Frank Anderson kind words and a smile shirt on. And, I was being my usual self with the beautiful people and, getting really good responses. People were really reacting really good, you know. But I knew I needed to get this video out of me, and it's a little cool outside, so I kind of sucked it up, and I said I'm gonna let my shirt do most of the talking today, because at the end of the day, I'm so mentally wiped out, because as often as I do, I leave it all with you, beautiful people, because I understand that well, I don't understand what you're going through, to the exact or period. But I do know and understand that you're going through something. And, my goal and my objective is always to give something to you, beautiful people, to encourage you, because I love you and I care about how you think and I care about how you feel and where you are at whatever point that is in your life. And the wind is blowing as well. So I needed to sit down in my car. So I'm going to try to get to this. But to my Instagram viewers and those who watch my videos on Instagram, I think I'm going to go over because I really want to dig into this, and dig out all the strong points in hopes that you beautiful people will get it and that it will help you be, better people. It would help you to realize what's most important versus what's not, and every generation has a voice to speak to the next up and coming generation if we will hear the voice that speaks. And not from the outside to our flesh, but from to the inside, from speak to our souls. And at night when you're by yourself, or if you're not by yourself at night, and usually those are the better times, when everyone is sleeping, you can sit back in the stillness of the night and close your eyes and revert back and recant the day and think about the things that were said that's beneficial to you. It'll help you along the way if you will allow it to do so. Because as I've stated before in times past, none of us is going to be here forever. And, it's senseless for me to take this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to the grave with me when I can leave it here with you all to pass it on to the next generation because we are there today and they're our tomorrow. As I stated yesterday with some people that I was, conversing with, and as I've stated before in times past, they're just paper towels on a wet counter and they're going to soak up and absorb because they love you, trust you, and respect you. Whatever you pour into them, whatever you do in front of them, whatever you present to them, whatever they see you do, they're going to mimic it, okay? That's what they're going to do because, you know, they are an affiliate of yours. They are a part of you, you know, um, and it's your goal and it's your objective to take for granted that they are not and they are looking and paying attention. They always are. They don't miss nothing. Everything that they do, as I stated before, is purely done, heartfelt, exposed to, experienced to the highest level degree of love that you will that you will that you will miss. You will not hit, but that you will miss, and that you will not comprehend because you're distracted by the cares of this life. You see, and you are on two different frequencies. With children, you have to always be attentive and aware of what's going on around them and with them. And you think that you're on top and you think that you're on tune. Nope, you're not. You just think that you are, and you are their last line of everything. Everything must come purely and undefiledly, okay? And undestructively and unconsumingly from you. And that's what has become of us, whether we realize it or not. We have been consumed. We have been hoodwinked, okay? We have been bamboozled, and we don't even realize it. You know, uh, the objective, and, what's to be brought under subjection, rule, and control is your mind, your thoughts, and your way of thinking. And you think that you are in control, but don't realize that you'll just become a victimized follower and following what has been projected to you, what has been reflected to you, what has been laid before your eyes, what has, like commercials, it has been presented to you before your eyes, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life, right before your eyes, like a movie. Why would they want to go hide it when they can hide right in front of you and put the message right there in front of your face, and you're not going to see it because you are too busy thinking that you are being entertained? And that's what's happening. You're being entertained. That's why they show these same old, subliminal messages over and over and over and over and over again until you conform to it. And after you've conformed to it, you've accepted it as and for living and thinking as a way of life. And it is not right, and it is not a way of life. Beautiful people, follow me and stay with me. Beautiful people, as I've touched on and as I've stated before, our ancestors, when they were in slavery, beautiful people, don't underestimate the fact that because they couldn't read and they couldn't write and all of these things, excuse me, that you might take consideration of or consider to be a think of as a weakness, that they couldn't read, they couldn't write, they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that. What about what they could do? You see, and as a result of what they could do, they didn't let them stay together because of what they couldn't do. They separated them and divided them to conquer them, to bring their minds under rule, subjection, and control because of what they could do. And they did that as an analysis and an assessment of them, being affiliate and associated with a family, their own selves, and they understood that they were strong together. It wasn't what they could do. It was with the love that they had that they could do. And love gives you all the direction deriving from the beauty of your eternal soul, all the direction that you need. And it puts everything into perspective. And they saw that. And I don't mean to sound like I'm biased or prejudiced, because I'm not. The truth is what it is. And they separated them, but they were wise enough to converse with one another from one plantation to the other. Like they sung the songs, wade in the water till the sun go down. What do y'all think you got that rapping mentality from? Wait in the water till the sun go down. They sung that stuff. And that was powerful. And they were able to communicate and converse with one another from plantation to plantation. And that family that they lost became a part of the family that was brought over from Africa in slavery to other families who understood that division and that separation and that conquering mentality. You see, when Willie Lynch came in with mind control. Excuse the expression because I want to give it to you straight. It was mind control. And a lot of the young people go to school today, these professors will tell them that was just a myth. Willie Lynch was a myth. He didn't exist. But you see? And a lot of the young people of color have said that to me and have actually accepted that. See, it's still a divide and conquer mentality. But Willie Lynch did exist. And you can Google it. You see, and that's when mind control began. He said, you all are killing excuse the expression because I don't use these words and these terms, but I want you to get it. You all got these niggas hanging from the trees and you're killing them. They laying up in the roadways dead when all you have to do is control the mind. And if you study the Willie Lynch letters, he said if this was implemented right, this would affect them all the way down through, what did he say? Was it 2017 or 2020? This would affect them all the way down through time if we implemented this plan and implemented it effectively right. And that same old plan of mentality has been in effect from then even until now. That same old mentality is in effect even with Christmas. You go out shopping and spending all your money. It's mind control. It spread it abroad from the slaves, and they saw how they could how that could become widespread and how they could carry that level of mind control over, cause it to spew over into other areas of life, living and thinking, controlling the mind with forms of segregation, still what you see today, different implementation, different involvements, different people, but they pass this stuff on down from one generation to the next. They teach them. You see, teach them. You see, and they know how to function and they know how to exist among you with these implementations of mind control. You see, take for example, in when back during the those days with Rosa Parks, and all the rest of them, with Rosa Parks and all of those who rode the bus. You see, one person didn't ride the bus, nobody rode the bus. You see, we have lost that today. You see, back during that age in which I'm speaking of, everybody that I talk to in this day and age that have been married from 40 to 70 years, they all say the exact same thing. Everybody I talk to in this day and age who don't know what they want, they all say something different. What does that tell you? Okay? Those who know what they want versus those who don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. And they all say something different. But those who know what they want, they all said, they all said the exact same thing. And I'm going over now. You see, it's 13 minutes. They all say the exact same thing. And I know I've been using this couple as an example, but they're not the first one that I've talked to. I've talked to several couples, and I'm going to start trying to, see if I can interview them and get them on camera to briefly talk about these important intricacies, the value of the importance of what makes them or what have made them together who they are as a couple. Like I said, they've been together for 62 years, and all of them I talk to, they've been together 40 years or more. And they all say the same thing. When I first set eyes on that person, I already knew that I wanted to be with that person for the rest of my life because they understood from where they were or where they are right where I am. We met level to level, perspective to perspective. Our viewpoints lined up from the soul to the face with love. You see, and 3 months later, they were married and been together 62 years, and they all say the same thing. Within that 3 months' time, they were married. This generation is ambiguous about everything. You all are doubtful and uncertain about everything. You need a prenup. You need an engagement just in case stuff happens. That's all that stuff is, just in case stuff happens, is all that means. Because love was the principal getting back then. And it really still is. They just don't want you to know it. So they hide it. They hide it. And those principles are based upon the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. The eyes see it, the flesh start lusting after it, and the pride wants it. Now the pride is going to get it at no matter what cost. Are they going to get it? And they're coming together now for all the wrong reasons, as opposed to like them back then in that time, in that age, they came together for all the right reasons. That's why it's difficult to impossible for them to, in this day and age, be in a healthy relationship, because they don't even know what that is, because they have trained you all to think individually now. It's all about me. It's all about mine. It's in every man, every woman for himself. And everybody thinks security. They didn't think about no security back then. Love provided them with everything that they needed. They got everything that they needed through love. Love was the establishment. Love was the aspiration. Okay? Love was everything that they needed. Love. And it's amazing how it has carried over today. And it would be really nice if those beautiful people would teach a class that will last, that they would teach a class, go on Facebook, go on YouTube, and teach classes to teach this generation what that means. You go all over Facebook. Casinos everywhere. Everybody's in the rat race for themselves to get some money. Everything that's not solidifying, that holds no foundation, that's not a guarantee. Love is a guarantee. Love is a promise. Love is what you cannot function normally, exist normally in life, and you cannot do without. Money you can do without. They had their values, they had their pride, they had their scruples, and that meant everything. They would not do anything for money. This generation is different. You all do anything for money. Anything. There wasn't no date sites back then all over the place. Everybody looking for love and still can't figure out how to get it. And don't know what to do with it when they think they got it. And will get rid of or throw away the most important thing that they have, which is love, over some money and some security. Oh, if you ain't on my level, they are above and beyond your level. If all you have is some money, they are above and beyond your level. If all you have is some money and they have love, you don't have nothing and they have everything. But you all are just, this generation has been taught to think backwards as far as that goes, because what they will say now is, oh, love won't pay the bills. Love won't pay the bills. Love ain't gonna put no money in your pocket. And all these other different things that they say about love. You see? But with love, it's not the number one problem among relationships. It is the greatest results of everything that a relationship and a marriage needs. It's the greatest results. You didn't have the problems with marriage back then that you have now. They understand how to stand firm and strong together. Coming out of slavery taught them that. This generation, get married a few months. Soon as he leave the toothpaste out or she leave the toothbrush out, oh, they ready to call it quits. You see? But among this generation, in the relationships and marriage, money is the biggest problem. And it's all designed for it to be the biggest problem, to keep you all separate and to keep you apart. It's designed for it to be that way. It's designed specifically for that very reason. It's to keep confusion among you, to keep you apart, still divide and conquer, still to control the mind. You go over on Facebook, all they show you is piles and bundles of money. That's all you see. You go on there, piles and bundles of money. You see? That's all it is. Subliminal messages. Mind control, to control the mind. And as a result of the fact that you all think that material things defines you. You see? And that's a tragedy. That's unfortunate that if you think that material things can define you. You see, back in the 70s and 80s, when a wealthy person lost everything that they had, they felt like that they could no longer go and get it back. So so they felt like, what reason did they have for living, to continue going on living? So they go to the bridge and jump and commit suicide. But you take a person who has never had anything before but understood how to survive. You see? And they become wealthy. If they lose it, they remember how they got it the first time. And they know how to go back and get it again. You see, beautiful people? We have been hoodwinked and we have been bamboozled. We have been taught to think that money and material things is more important than love, marriage, and relationships, and families. That's why it's difficult for this generation to be in a healthy relationship, to be married, and to be in love. Because, their relationship and their marriage is not with a human being. It's with those desires of theirs to be fulfilled. It's individual thinking. It's about how much I can get and how much more of what I can get to please me. And so you think to make you better. If that be the case and love alters you in a beautiful way to make you a better person, then why is it that when you accumulate all this money and all this wealth, it alters your appearance from the outside? And it doesn't alter you to be a better person from the inside. And when someone looks at you, they can't even tell who you are. They don't even know who you are anymore. They can't even tell who you are anymore. You don't even look the same anymore. But those people, they look just the same. You see, they have taught us how to, place, so we think, stipulations and clauses on marriage and on relationships. They have taught us how to do that. They have taught us, beautiful people, they have taught us how to even pre-order, like a fast food restaurants or in a drive-through. They have taught us how to pre-order our relationships. Beautiful people. Now, like, you can have everything delivered to your house, your food, whatever it is. They have taught us how to pre-order these things. Beautiful people. You order your man or you order your woman. Oh, I want him to be tall. Okay? Because I'm tall. And, he's got to shave all of his hair off of his body. You know, he's got to be a vegan. He's got to be a vegetarian. And all these different things, because I'm a vegan and I'm a vegetarian. Beautiful people. Well, you know, if that's what you choose to do, that's fine. That's your free will of choice. But what I'm saying is this: there are consequences that go along with all those things. Beautiful people. Because you cast away or get rid of, or he can no longer meet my needs, or he can no longer keep up with me, or he's no longer, or she's no longer on my level of thinking because she doesn't bring a certain amount in, or the figures don't add up. I'm now rich and I've outgrown him. You see? That's the difference between, you know, the flesh and the soul. You see? The flesh has limitations and is limited. But now the soul is eternal and it's filled with love. And love is forever. When you leave here, all of those things that you've accumulated, all that money, somebody else going to enjoy if you haven't spent it all. Somebody else will enjoy it, and then you will die all alone. The person with love will not die alone. Someone will not put them in a convalescent hospital and forget about them and take all their wealth that they have worked hard to accumulate, to surround themselves with, to think that that defines who they are. Beautiful people. But because that person who loved, someone will love them back and they will take care of them in their latter days. The person that have mistreated everybody because they thought they were better than everybody because of their material possessions and the money, all the money that they have worked hard to gain and to get, and have done everything, you know, to keep everybody else separate from what they have or what they've accumulated to keep, because they think now they're living in fear, thinking everybody is out to get them and to get what they got. You have boxed yourself in. And all you're thinking about is the now time in your youthful days and not those age days, or when you become older in life and when you have no pleasure in being aged out. And you have shut yourself out from everybody around you. And now nobody wants to be bothered with you. And they throw you in a convalescent hospital somewhere. Take everything that you've accumulated and you end up in there miserable to die alone. But that person who had love is surrounded by love, and love takes care of them and will refuse to put them in the convalescent hospital or mistreat them, because the investment in love and in life that they made and in the lives of others. Beautiful people, we have got to restore the order, and we've got to put things back into perspective like they're supposed to be. Beautiful people, you cannot buy love, nor can you put a price on it, because it's priceless. It's eternal. It knows no face. It knows no appearance. It knows no level of weight, no level of height, you know, and all these different things you got to have or achieve. Quietness is kept without meat. You can't get the protein you need anyway. All plump and healthy and full, you can't get it. I don't care how many beans you eat and everything else. God created everything for everything, and in its perspective, and its individualistic way for which it was created, for us to live, exist, and function. He created meat to eat. And I'm not telling you if you want to be a vegetarian or vegan to eat some. No, I'm not saying that at all. You do what you feel is best for you, because you're going to do that anyway. That's your free will of choice. But me, I'm going to eat some meat, and I'm going to enjoy it all. Beautiful people. Yes, I am. Beautiful people. And I encourage you to go back to what works, to find what works. Get back to what will never stop working. Go, beautiful people. Find the elderly, the hoary head, the wise, and sit down and listen to them so that you can learn from them. But you all have separated yourselves from them and have cast them aside. That generation was smarter and wiser than this one because there was no police substations in the schools like this one. There was no murdering and beating elderly. That didn't happen back then, but it's happening now. Beautiful people. Like I said, the TV went off in the 70s at midnight because there was nothing else left to report because there was nothing going on. Everything is going on. Anything and everything is going on now. And there's everything to report. What should that tell you? That the days have gotten worse, the years have gotten worse, life has gotten worse. Things have gotten worse. How much worse can it really get before enough is enough? Better think about it. It's things to think about. How much more worse can it get? Or will it get? Or will it be allowed to get? Okay? But you all need to find those wise aged people who know more than you do, whether you admit it or not. Because all the stuff that's going on now in this generation, it didn't go on back then. There was some stuff going on, but not nearly to the magnitude that's going on now. Because like I told you, there was nothing else left to report. TV went off at midnight. Jets flying over on TV. TV went off at midnight. Nothing but snow. Nothing but snow. Now there is no snow. Not on the TV. Tell their vision. All divine. All designed to control your way of thinking. And you all have fallen prey to it. You've fallen asleep to it. And you've accepted them for being your life coach, your life's teacher, your life's parents. They have taught you everything that you know. And you'll become victimized by it because nobody can tell you nothing. And you think between all those curves and going to the gym, getting a few curves, putting some money in your pocket, you think now that outer appearance makes you the perfect person. If you never get to know the soul, you never get to know the person. Because the soul it defines that person. It speaks to who they are. And I go with the aged. They knew what they were talking about. They still know what they're talking about. And you all think that they don't exist because they're silent. It's not because they're silent. You all just don't listen. And you're not listening. And they can't tell you nothing. If you made yourself available to listen, then they can tell you something, and then you will learn something, and a lot of the pitfalls you can avoid or will avoid. But this fabrication you've built up for yourself that surrounds you, it's going to come tumbling down because it's not a sure foundation. It's not a solidifying one. Okay? It's all an image and a facade, and there's nothing everlasting or eternal about it. It's just what it is, an image and a facade, an illusion. And when you walk around in society and in public, you walk around as if you're better than someone because you think that driving a certain kind of car, living in a certain kind of house, puts you in a certain class. It's the love that does all that. And if you don't have love, you don't have nothing. Ask the people who long for it and who desperately want it because they've never had it before, they've never experienced it before, and it has never been in their lives. Ask those people. Ask those people. And you try to hand them all of that stuff that's flammable, that fire can consume. You lay it on one side and you lay love on the other side, they're going to choose love every time. Because love will affect how you think and how you feel. That's what gives you the insight on everything else that you need. Love gives you peace of mind. It gives you a clear head to think with and to function with. Love gives you understanding and direction. Love promotes and instills in you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's what the beauty of these beautiful people who've been married for all of these years, from 40 to 60, 70 years. That's what they have. That's why they understand toleration. That's why they understand how to exist together, function together, complement each other. The man or the woman is at home working while the other are taking care of the kids and the family, while the other one is out working, and the one that's working, chances are sometimes think that they're better than the one that's not working or and at home because they think that they have more than what the other one has. When if they would become one, they will both have the same thing. That's how it's meant to be, to have the exact same thing, to be equal, to be mutual in that equality. And that mutualism is love. You will never ever find a finer line of balance, of balancing things out in life, in yourself out in life, than you will with love, and like love will do. It will balance you through and through. It'll balance you out. That's what love does. Because love is perfect. Everything about what you're doing on the outside is not perfect. It's temporary. But love is perfect because it can't die. It's impossible for love to die. Love can't die. It can only multiply, but it can't die. That's the beauty of love. But you have been bamboozled into thinking that it's not enough. It can't do for you what you need for it to be done, for what you need to be done. It can't provide for you. It can't strengthen you. It can't encourage you. It can't empower you. It can't see you through. You've been bamboozled into thinking that, and you actually believe that because you refuse to learn from your ancestors, because you separated yourself from that age in such a way that you think that who they were and what they did and what made them who they were is outdated. And you think education is the solution because it makes you who you are. Does it really? Those beautiful people invented a lot of things and didn't know what education was. Okay? As I stated before, got $1 million quilts. $1 million quilts in a museum because they had the wisdom and they was given the wisdom. God gave them the wisdom to do such things. You see? And it made them better people. It made them better people, and it made everybody around them who associated themselves with them, who was an affiliation of them in one way or another. Everybody made each other better. Beautiful people, you need to get with the age to hurry ahead. Okay? Because the only way that you're going to get that wisdom and that knowledge unless you challenge them like you challenge everything else. Talk to them like you talk to everyone else. I don't care how successful in life and in this world you become, if it's all on the outside, it's all temporary. It will be passed on, or will all come to an end. And sooner or later, your beautiful self will too. Beautiful people, let's get back to what works. Let's stop thinking that we have to divide ourselves from each other and conquer one another. Into this individual way of living and thinking, individualizing ourselves. Let's stop individualizing ourselves. Let's get back to family unity. Let's get back to what works. Let's get back to taking care of each other. Let's get back to figuring out how to love one another and how to maintain that love and how to keep that love and how to stop offending each other, abusing each other, and hurting each other and think that stuff is okay and we're going to go home and sleep good at night. No, you're not. And then you got to go to the doctor and he prescribes you some medication for something called insomnia because you done wrong and you don't want to admit that you are wrong. And you want to cover it up like that's going to work. Like that it's possible for that to work or for you to do that. And think all's going to be well with you and you're going to go home and sleep good at night. How are you going to wound somebody and hurt somebody and they're up nights crying and upset and hurt because you hurt them and you didn't ask for forgiveness and you're going to go home and sleep good at night? It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Nope. There's no way that it's okay for them to suffer and feel pain and you to escape. Nope. We've got to heal one another. We've got to feel one another. We got to deal with one another. We got to stop walking past each other, not sharing love, kind words, and smiles with each other. And wonder what's wrong with the world. We are the world. We got to stop doing it. We got to stop walking past each other. You know, like we're all that. We got to stop walking past each other like we're all that. You know, and everything is about us that we're too fine or too beautiful to talk to or converse with or communicate with. And somebody speak to you and you can't say nothing. You know, somebody speak to you, you know, and you act like you're better than they are. Somebody say hello to you because you done been to the gym and got a few curves, or you might have a little money in your pocket, or you may have won the lottery. You know, the gambling, all that old mafia activity stuff. Beautiful people. And now all of a sudden you're better than somebody because you think you have something that they don't. You do have something that they don't. But that don't make you better than them. They have something that you don't. You see? And they're not even thinking about being better than you are. But they have, if it's love, it's everything that anybody and everybody should want and need. Because if you don't have love, you don't have nothing. And if you don't realize that, it's because in all your getting that you haven't gotten in getting, you need to get an understanding that you need to receive and achieve. That means that they just know something better that you don't. It's not because they know something better that you don't that they think that they're better than you are. They just know something better that you don't. And it as ancient of days as love is, everything about it and its principles and standards are yet revised, up to date, most effective, most powerful, and new. And still has the same effect as it did and as it does and as it did on our ancestors. Still have the same effect. It's still love. I speak to men, women, and children, men in particular, who you all say are not supposed to show any emotions and cry because they're projected as being weak. Nope. You just cleansed. And you just rectified, revitalized, and restored your mind to be clear, to be functioned, to think. That's what when the rain flows from your soul and it falls from your eyes. So that you'll realize. You see, that's what it does. Beautiful people, they walk up to me and give me a hug. That's what they do. They walk up to me and they give me a hug and they tell me that they love me. You see, those are real, genuine, down-to-earth men who some women project as being weak when it's strong. You see, another bamboozlement, another victimization, But to all you beautiful people out there in the world, to whom it is I talk to and that I speak, just know this and understand this, beautiful people. People are living life in reverse, backwards in this day and age. Those people who have been together for 40 and 70 years, they are still living life in its forthcomingness going forward in order. Like it was back in that time and in that day when they first got married, and like it still is now, even today. And when they repeat it to me and when I hear them say it, it's just like it was that first moment or that first day, our love. They don't need no two and no I can't get the word out. Menage a trois and 3 people and 10 people and 12 people. Talking about to keep the relationship and the marriage alive and fresh and well. That's just a bunch of confusion, because a double-minded person is unstable in all their ways, because you just don't know who you are. You don't know who you are and you don't know what you want and you're confused. So you do confused stuff. Like I said before, you all say you'll try anything once. I won't. And I'm not going to try anything once, because I don't know what I'm trying, what I'm inviting into my life that I don't see. Okay? No, I'm not inviting no demons and nothing else into my life doing all that. And wonder why all of a sudden I'm acting crazy and I'm dysfunctional. Because I've just attached myself to people who got all of these different stuff coming out of them. Yes, beautiful people. Things and stuff we don't want to talk about until it's too late or it's out of control. Beautiful people, or we're watching a movie. Well, why do you think they show it to you in the movie? Okay? They show on you in the movie what's happening for about as best as they can describe it or present it to you, explain it to you, to your level of comprehension, receiving and thinking. They present it to you right in front of your face. And you're so busy being entertained, you're not getting the message. I told you the world is a sugar coat. But underneath that sugar and that coat, there's another layer. There's another world. There's something else going on that you don't see. It's not what you do see, it's what you don't see. Okay? Beautiful people? So I'm done, beautiful people. And I want to apologize to my Instagram viewers. Beautiful people. I love all you beautiful people. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, anybody and everybody, to anyone and to everyone, from the start of your day throughout the course of your day to the end of your day. I love you that way. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't spend the time that I do, and such as I have, talking to you beautiful people. Beautiful people. But know them that labor among you. Make your awareness clear. Understand your surroundings. Things don't just happen by coincidence. Everything serves a purpose and happens for a reason. And if you're not trying to find out what that reasoning is, you're sleepwalking through life and you're sleeping through a revolution. Beautiful people. But out of everything that you will ever accomplish or achieve in life, nothing will be more achievable or more accomplished in your life or in life than love. You cannot function normally in life without love. Why do you think the world is so unstable? It's not because of no material things and everything that people lack in life, that they long for, that they think they want, and that they think they need, and that they have to have. You see? People always want what they want, but don't know how to get or receive or achieve what you really need. And you'll never need nothing more than you'll need love. You'll always need love. Look how dysfunctional the world is. It's because of love. Because they don't have nothing. Out of all that other stuff they thought they got, they thought they had something. To come to find out that when they got into the big house and they yelled in that big house and it echoed right back at them, at that very moment they realized that they were alone. All these things that you think that you want to get as substitutes, that's all they are substitutes. They can't do nothing but compliment. That's all they are. It's substitutes. So stop trying to hide. Stop looking for places to hide. And stop clinging to things that take the place of things that can't be replaced or that are irreplaceable. Humans were created to interact with humans, and that's just that. Any and everything else you get or you want to have in life should be just that, because you want to have it for the purpose that it can only serve and nothing more. Nothing can replace a human in love. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So deal with yourself, deal with your issues, deal with your concerns, deal with your hurts, deal with your pains. Take the Band-Aids off. Let the air get to those wounds so that they can heal. There is no shortcuts. There are no back doors. There are no more cutting through the rabbit field. I remember back in the day when we were kids, when we used to go to the Richmond Plunge, we used to go through the rabbit field. You can see the rabbits hopping through the field. They took that habitat away and got rid of the rabbit field. You can no longer take a shortcut anymore. So you had to go take that long way around or follow the directions that will get you there. There are no shortcuts in life to take. There are no hiding places. You're going to have to man up and you're going to have to woman up, and you can do it. My love, my life, and my experiences say that you can. Remember, I talk to you the way that I do because I love you and I care about how you think and I care about how you feel. Don't try to live in today and over in tomorrow, okay? With yesterday's inconclusive thoughts and experiences. Okay? Going over in tomorrow with yesterday's clothes on. No, refresh yourself, revitalize yourself, restorate yourself, overcome yourself, heal yourself, deliver yourself, feel yourself, love yourself, be yourself. Give to yourself the love that is required so that you can be happy in life. If nobody told you they love you today, I love you, okay? Be good to yourself because I sure will. And have a smiling day.